For criteria number 8, we are looking at the IQA of learners' work, at least 2 learners for both assessors. So for this section of the course, we are looking at your ability as the IQA to sample the written feedback from the assessor to the learner. Okay, so I'd like to think that all of your assessors that you're monitoring, they can provide constructive written feedback for each learner that they encounter. So here we're just sampling the written communication, the feedback, and understanding what feedback that they receive from their tutors. As we know, each course or qualification is different, and what you decide to sample is very much down to you. Okay, so you might need to make a decision on what you are going to be sampling here. Sampling of learner work can be useful for team standardisation meeting, as colleagues marking can be written feedback, can be compared in order to promote consistency between team members as well. So it's very important to keep copies of learner marking, as that can be used within sort of standardisation meetings and comparing the level of detail of marking as well. Feedback, okay, so marking can be paper-based, it can be electronic, of course. So you are going to sample different learner work per assessor. So in terms of what is required for criteria 8, so here we have you, the candidate IQA, and the 2 assessors that you are monitoring. We have 2 learners per assessor, okay, and we are looking for the assessors marked work, okay, for each assessor. So we are looking for you to submit 4 documents here, so 4 pieces of marked work, okay, by the assessor, depending on your subject, the qualification that you are deciding to review. In terms of some ideas of what you could submit in terms of this learner work, it could be learner assignments or essays marked by the assessor, multiple choice or written test marked by the assessor, a mock test which has been marked by the assessor or teacher, a written observation report from the assessor to the learner, and also a checklist that has been completed by an assessor based on a learner's performance as well. So for your IQA portfolio for number 8, we are looking to see samples of learner work which have been reviewed here. So in terms of this criteria, do please submit learner work, very important, okay. However, you're also required to complete 2 forms, one for each assessor. Now this is the IQA of learner work form, okay. So for example, this is a completed version, okay, and my first assessor is Tom, and I have sampled his marking, okay. So I have reviewed his marking of 2 of his learners, Emma and Kazim, okay. I've reviewed the paperwork, the marking, to make sure that it's positive, constructive, and it's met the criteria as well. I've also requested for Tom to sign and date the documents. And in terms of your own IQA portfolio, you can of course use this train aid form. You can edit the questions there so it fits your qualification, or furthermore, you can submit your own form here as well. So it's very important that you submit 2 pieces of work, that you review 2 pieces of work for each assessor. The same for my second assessor. This is Martin. So once again, I have reflected on 2 pieces of learner work there, okay, and I have completed this form, and as you can see there, we have a signature as well. So very important that we do get that signature from each assessor. In terms of learner work within your portfolio, we are looking for examples of marking. So here we have a sample, a snippet of a written assignment by a learner, and we also have the marking in blue there. So that is what I am reviewing as an IQA, the level of detail and also the marking. But we are looking for 2 pieces of work which has been sampled by the assessor. and I am going to review two pieces of work for each of my assessors to promote consistency. So behind me, once again, we have an example here of Tom's written feedback as well. And this is what I will put within my own IQA portfolio as well. It's very important as an IQA for every piece of work that you do sample and also your ID reports, you do save centrally, and that promotes standardization as well. And furthermore, every item, every perhaps an assignment that you do review, do make sure that you are updating your sample plan as well. Okay, so that's very important for an IQA, that you do keep your records current as well. So in terms of the criteria for number 8, we're looking for 2 learner work for each assessor.